Greetings, crafty friends. Welcome to another episode of Angela Shows You. Today, I am going to show you how to make a super simple gift card, credit card pouch. Now, we are going to demonstrate today with a snap. However, you can always also use a piece of Velcro if you wanted to instead. So this is just the right size. You can see I've got a credit card here, and this is just the right size to hold your card, and then it snaps shut. Okay, so it does snap. There we go. Okay, so what you are going to need for this project, pretty minimal as far as supplies goes. This is a great project, by the way, if you have scrap fabric that you are looking to use up some of your scraps, because this does take just a few inches of fabric to get this done. So I cut out a template already because I actually make kind of a lot of these, so I found it easier to make a template, and then I can cut usually I can cut 2, maybe 3 of these at one time. So I just have just a piece of paper, and so it is cut at 7 inches tall and 4 3/4 inches wide. Okay, so that's it. You need 2 pieces of fabric, an exterior piece and an interior piece. So you can see I've got just a coordinating, and this was actually just a fat quarter that I had picked up, but I thought that this was a cute little pattern, and these colors run, they go really well together. So 2 pieces of fabric, you're going to cut them 7 inches tall, 4 1/2 inches wide, and then if you want to curve the edge, you can curve the edge, or you can just leave it squared off. Really personal preference. Sometimes when you're a newer sewer, you might not be comfortable yet with doing curves. It's totally fine. Go right ahead and leave it straight. If you like to curve it, the best way to do, if you're going to do a template, is fold it in half lengthwise and just make a nice little curve with a pair of scissors. And how much of a curve bend, that's whatever you feel like. Maybe or you could always do more like an envelope shape and cut down and let it be pointed. The one thing I will say is, if you're going to use, well, either a snap or a Velcro, if you're going to do it pointed, just make sure that you don't do it too narrow down, so that you have a spot to put your snap on. Or if you're going to use Velcro, then you're going to want to take into consideration just leaving enough room to sew in a little piece of Velcro to hold this closed. So 2 pieces of fabric, inner, outer. For this, I used Pellon medium weight, mid-weight fusible interfacing. I find that for this, the interfacing does it makes it so it's not quite so flimsy, but it's not real big either, so you don't want to go with something really stiff. So you're going to fuse your interfacing onto the wrong side of the outside piece of fabric, and I have already gone ahead and I did that. Then you're going to take, if your inner piece was patterned also, you would go ahead and you would put the 2 right sides together. Since this one's solid, it doesn't quite matter as much. And then what you're going to do is you can go ahead and you can pin the pieces just so that they stay put. So what I like to do on this, because it's small and I won't have to move the pins around, is I just put 2 pins right down the center. This keeps it in place enough. The other thing that you're going to want to use is, for this, is I've got these, a snap kit. The snap kit I got on Amazon. It was just less than $20 when I bought it. It was like 17 something. That was about a year or so ago. I don't know how much they are anymore. But the kit came with the pinch tool to fasten the snap components together, and then this is very sharp. This you will poke a hole to put the snap in. I'll show you that when we get there. The other thing that I use for this is a point turner. I just picked this up at Joann's. I actually bought it at Christmas time. They were, I think that all the sewing tools were like buy two get one free or something like that. So I bought this. This is nice because you can use it for nice points, or it's also can be used if you have something rounded that you want to just kind of work the seam a little bit. Pair of scissors, of course. You need a ruler to cut your fabric, and then either a rotary cutter or a pair of scissors, and that is all we need. So we've got our two pieces of fabric right sides together. We're going to take these to the machine, and we are going to sew. We're going to start kind of about 3/4 of the way down or so. We're going to sew all the way around, and then when we get back to this side, we're going to leave ourselves a little bit of a turn gap, because of course we're going to want to be able to turn this right side out. So that's what we are going to go ahead and do. I'm going to lower this so that you can see the machine and what we're doing. So there we go. My bottom piece of fabric crinkled up a little bit when I pinned it. About a 1/4 inch seam allowance, or just a little bit under a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then, of course, when I'm starting, I went forward a couple stitches, back a couple stitches, and now we're just going to go forward. When you get down to your corner, you're going to leave the needle down, and you're going to lift the presser foot up, turn that, go right along the bottom edge. Again, when we get close to the corner, we're going to leave the needle down, lift up the presser foot a little bit, pivot that around. I'm going to do one more stitch. Now, when we get up to if you're going to do a curved area, when I get up here, I do slow down a little bit just to keep control. So we're going to just follow. Okay. And the other thing that I like to do with anything that I have a curve on, I do like to use my pinking shears. So I'm going to just take my shears and I'm going to just trim a little bit of that bulk off from around the top here. And then we're going to clip our corners. Be careful that you don't get a stitch. Okay, so then we're going to turn this right side out. Now I'm going to grab my point turner and I'm going to just go right in here, and I'm going to gentle, you don't want to poke too hard or you'll poke right through. Okay, and then I'm going to just kind of do the same thing at the top a little bit. Okay, now it is a little bit wrinkled, so, and because we've got our turn area, we're gonna just kind of fold that fabric in. And then I'm gonna just press this real quick. Took out the wrinkles and just gave us a crisp edge for our turn gap. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to take this and you're going to fold the bottom up about 3/4 of the way. That gives you your flap. Okay, so what we're going to now do is we're going to start on one end and we're going to stitch up, top stitch around here. And so we don't need to do the bottom. So I'm just going to start at one corner, work my way up down to the other side. And I'm going to just clip that. This was the side that had the turn gap on it. So I just clipped it so that all the material pieces stay in place. Okay, so next step is we're going to just come back to the machine. I am not going anywhere here. My needle might be getting dull. There we go. And again, when we get up to the curve, we are going to just go kind of slow. There we go. Alright, so now to finish this baby up, all we're going to do is we are going to grab our snaps. So I will point out that for the snaps, You want to make sure that you pick out two pieces that are going to go together. And what I mean by that is you want the innie and the outie piece. Okay, you want the piece that's got the raised inside, and then the piece that has the dip in there so that the snap snaps. Okay, so then you're going to take your poke tool and you're going to just pick a spot and you're going to poke through. You know, if you want to make sure, you can fold it in half, kind of give it a little bit of a finger press. That way you have a crease in there and you know exactly where the center is, and then just pick a spot and poke a hole. Keep your fingers out of the way because this thing is pretty sharp. Okay? Then you're going to take one of the flat pieces and you're going to put the flat piece on the outside. And poke it right through. Then I'm going to use the piece that has, they're so small, I'm going to use the piece that has the lip. You're going to put the flat end down onto the snap and push it in. Then you're going to take your squeeze tool and you're going to use the flat end is going to go on the outside, and this other end here is going to, with the kind of the rubbery side, is going to go on the inside, because this is the piece that's going to push it's going to push this piece right here. It's going to push that in. It's going to squish it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And give it a good squeeze. So now you can see. Okay, so then what you're going to want to do is, I like to now fold it and kind of get a little bit of an idea of where I want to poke my second hole, so I can see where I'm at here. So I'm going to just find that spot and I'm going to hold it there. Don't poke through, because you don't want to poke all the way through. You only want to go through this piece. You don't want to poke all the way through. Now we're going to take this piece and we're going to put the flat side inside. And then we're going to take and we're going to put the smooth side. We want the dip piece to be facing up, and we want that smooth side facing down. Push it in there. Same thing. We want this piece to go, give it a good squeeze. And that pushed that center piece in. And if your snap doesn't snap, this one's not, squeeze again. There we go. This doesn't want to snap down. There we go. And there you go. Perfect little now, if you have a Cricut machine, you could also cut out, you know, if you could cut out somebody's name or your name on here, and you know, you could do an initial, you could do a name, personalize it any way that you see fit. So there we go. Easy peasy, right? If you try this, let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you thought of this and how incredibly easy it is. I hope that you'll give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed to Angela Shows You, I do hope that you will consider subscribing and helping my channel grow. I will see you next time.